Hello folks, Ron Howard here, back at it again for my sixth and final installment of Don't Stop the Sandman. I have been busy early in the morning and in the evenings adding another 2 minutes to this song. We are in the home stretch and look at all the really cool colors. Look at what's going on. Exciting. And this is the only section I have left. So I'm in the home stretch. For you to see this section, I'll be sharing the results of the video when it's done, and I'll be trying to figure out what I'm going to charge for this. As many of you have seen who have followed along with the tutorial, this takes a lot of time. There are other people that have been doing it a lot longer that I'm sure do it a lot faster. So for me, certainly it does take more time. I'm fairly methodical about what I want to put into it, and that may be my downfall, but that's okay. So before we get into some of the interesting sections, and we'll try to keep this video brief, we're just going to start it from the beginning. We'll play through it, and I'll look for some effects that are new that I stumbled upon and created, and we'll go from there. Let's check it out.
Suit and a beard so white, flies around the world in a single night, going everywhere. 100 million miles to go, through the rain and winter snow. And how he does it, I don't know, going everywhere. He moves so fast, but he stays so fast. From eating cookies off a welcome mat, flying on and on and on and on. Sleigh bells ringing up and down the boulevard. His reindeer speeding through the night. Rudolph leading, his nose looks like it's overheated, flying onward through the night. Ho, ho, ho. He works all night, he's always moving. One day he's gotta join the union. He's got no pension or workman's comp or a dental plan. There's no exchanges, there's no returns. He's got a lot of tricks he's learned. He's in the chimney, but he doesn't burn. He goes on and on and on and on. Sleigh bells ringing up and down the boulevard. His reindeer speeding through the night. Rudolph leading, his nose looks like it's overheated, flying on twist again. Don't stop the Santa Man. He's coming through the city. Christmas people.
And that's where I left off. So, what should we look at first? Let's put this out of the way. Let's bring our working windows in order where we can see some of this stuff. So we started at 210 in this section here, and really, let's see if there's
Onward through the night.
yeah, so the mega tree, I know that's everyone's favorite. I certainly think it's one of my favorite things to work on because there's so many things you can do, and with the different shapes of the trees, whether you have 50 pixels, 80 pixels, 800 pixels tall by 28, 38, whatever, you can really make a mega tree look phenomenal. So let's see what we've got working here. Let's open this up a little bit so we can look at these effects. I'll get back up here. That was my reindeer. So again, I'm a big fan of spirals, and so I've basically created a spiral here on the bottom layer, another spiral, so I create the diamonds, and then I put some of the circles in here, and believe it or not, the circles are making these lines because I'm choosing single line, and I've pushed it in a little bit here on each side so I don't have them hitting the edge because I didn't want it messing with the diamond shapes and the blue ribbons there. And I'm just telling them to bounce and with the linear fade, and that's the effect. It's real subtle. And then on the inside of everything, we've got our beautiful twinkles and just some yellow and red colors to make them stand out. A lot of times when you're blending these effects, you want to think about complementary colors. You want to think about things that aren't going to get lost or overrun it. I'll give you an example of something I was going to try to do earlier, and I was thinking about this before I made the video. I'm like, you know what? I really think I need something in this section. Oh, if I get to it. Oh, it's probably over here. So in this section, and I'm segueing, and I promised myself I wouldn't do this, but I thought, you know what? It's really stripped down. I need to put a tree here. So I kid you not, before I made the video, I spent probably 15, 20 minutes trying to make something here complementary to this. And we talked last tutorial, we talked in part 5 about center of interest and things that have an influence on where the eye gets pulled, and I found myself struggling between this and this. So this is really stripped down, but it really is just to create a beginning focus, and we're going to make some fun. It's a parody. We're going to have some fun with Santa and his mishaps, and it's a rock song, right? So that's why I did that. And that's just part of sequencing. You second guess yourself constantly. So we were here. This was the mega tree here. This is an effect I had for the eaves that I really liked, and for the verts. And I'm using single line for both of these, and I'm using these darker colors with some white and just a little bit of blur. And I really liked the effect that had. And then I found some other artwork that looks really interesting going across the sky when this is rolling. I love the feel of this here because there's nothing really being too distracting. You still get to see the video, and everything just kind of complements each other, and a lot of interesting things going on there with the tree. All right. Anything on the bottom here? Nope. My tree topper. I've used that effect before. And then this was very interesting. I need to pull this back over here so you can see what I'm talking about here. And here we go. Let's play this game again. So I stumbled across this effect here that was really interesting, that it made it look like it's going from the center to the outer rings of my snowflakes. And I'm not using them a whole lot in this song, but I thought this was kind of a neat effect. And what I'm going to do, let's just take a look. I just put it on all of them. And that's the effect. So this is using lines, or I should say it's using single strand. Band size is set to 1, skip size 1, starting position 1, advance is 44, going left. And I just chose red and white, going for that feel. What did I do differently? Well, nothing really, except I chose single line. And that was it. And that gave us that effect for the chroma stars. So I was really happy with that. If we go up here to the wreath, it's just spinning. So that's cool. And then for the whole house is the fire. Let's go over another section here. This is the mega tree. We're at, what is this, 236 on the timeline. And just some more spirals. And then the good old ripple effect for the star. And then the whole house just has some more snow. And let's go over. And wow, look what I've got going on here with the mega tree. There is a lot going on here. I'm going to pull this bigger screen over so you can see this section. So again, with these colors, it kind of matches what's going on here with Santa stuck in the chimney. Let me pull this up here just a little bit, and I messed that up. Give me a sec. I'll get back to it. There we go. Don't you even think about it. So this is really a cool effect. I really, really like this. I'm proud of this effect. It's just interesting to me. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different things going on with this. So on the bottom here, these are twinkles, set to default. It's on the inside, mostly there at the bottom. You can see a little bit of it. And then the next one here, I'm using a garland effect with some blur. And you can check out the spacing with the red, blue, and black. That is 1 is unmask. And then above that is going to be 2 sets of spirals. And you'll see the red and black here. And then the one above it is going to be the same, except instead of it being 4 for the wraps, it's -4. And then I do another set of spirals up here that is red and black, black. And that is -4 and 4. And then I have the bubbles again to make these lines in here, because I'm using single line. So they're randomly choosing where these lines may be falling in here. And I think that's just kind of a really cool effect. Keep in mind, if you have this same exact sequence and you prefer not to have the colors blurred, that's as simple as moving the blur button to the left and getting rid of it and making them just as bright as you want. And then I went up to my star, and remember in last tutorial I talked about using separate strands while using effect on top of it. So because my group effect's on top, that includes the 6 strands in my star, it has everything going on in here with this effect, which is from this guy up here again. Where'd he go? There we are. From Ripple. Mr. Ripple is doing stuff on the inside, and then I have a cool VU meter happening on the outside, and I'm telling it to use note onsets. I wonder why I told it note onsets. Let's see what it does. No, I'm not going to change it because then I have to render this, and it's just a pain in the rear. Let's not do that right now. It doesn't make for good video. But typically I've been putting this on beats to go with the music, but if it's on note onsets, that's probably better because there's a little more syncopation going on. So I did right. I did good. All right. Good enough. Let's go on. Here's wreath, actually my spinners, and then the wreath, and then a layer on the wreath. And what that looks like, it created this nice little effect and design. So I've got a center thing going on here that's staying in there. So how is that staying in there? Well, let's open up the wreath. I played a trick on us. No, I didn't. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, yes, I did. Did anyone catch this? Is everyone's eyes now looking somewhere on the screen for the Scooby clue of how I got the center to stay this color and change into another color but not be a part of the show up here? Yep, that's right. I used the layer settings. And unlike this guy that uses all of the prop, when I went to this color wash, I told it just to get the section. I was able to get in there and make sure it chose nothing else other than these guys right here. All right. Moving on. That's house. Let's see if there's anything interesting here. This was just what I did with the eaves. And I'm actually using a layer. So I have this with this, and 2 is unmasked, and that is what gave me that effect. And then I have all sorts of artwork going on, trying to tell the story. It's not easy finding artwork that's going to match the story. And it doesn't match exactly the way I'd like, but it's pretty close. And this guy's always just really funny to watch. And then more reindeer with the sleigh. And then we've got Rudolph's nose and the flying by, and then that, which we talked about earlier. And then we have my really cool dancing reindeer. It's got some funky moves, and I just put a nice color behind that. And then over here, what am I doing over here? I'm not even sure. That may not be doing anything right now. This was an effect for the tree topper. And I am, for the life of me, I think I must have put these on each one for some reason to get that effect. All right, let's scroll on over here. Anything interesting here? That's just a really cool look right there. This is what it looks like in the big screen. I've got the shadow effect with Santa flying by, looking really neat. And then the nice cool colors on the house. Some spinning here. My arches are just nice and slow. And then just some spinning mini trees. And that's just about it. This was, I spent some time on this one. It looks really simple. But there's a little bit of thought put into this. I wanted the white ring to come down and red to fill up inside of the diamonds. And I was able to achieve this with these effects here. And I've got my twinkles inside. I am hooked on twinkles. I'm going to need help to get through that. And that's it. And then on the star, real basic. And it fills up with the red. So I like that. House verts. And eaves. That's all good. My patio matrix, and my patio arches and my arches. Moving along here, almost finished with this. This was just another basic tree here, but it's got a really cool pattern while it's moving that I like. And again, we're trying to complement the overall colors of what's happening with house. Santa now has all these dots behind him. That's coming from the twinkles, just using a different setting on there. I'm using the same setting again for the chroma stars, and this time I'm bouncing some things. It looks like things are just falling from the arches with my mini trees, and then the stars looking good. I like it. All right, and I think that's just about it, folks. I really appreciate you guys hanging in there and watching some of this stuff. The only piece I put in that wasn't like really kind of a Christmas animation was this rock guitarist that's on fire, kind of flaming here. I will say with the music, there's only one thing I really like to change on this, and I'm gonna have to go in and edit the audio because there's a section of the song where it's like, because it's, from Enter the Sandman with Metallica, and it's like, it says straight to hell. It's like, I'm gonna have kids and families coming by my house, so I'm not particularly cool with that because I don't really want to associate Santa and hell, even though it's a rock song. It's just weird, I guess, but I'm going to find a way to do something about that. Maybe put some type of insert. It'd be neat if X-Lights had a way to actually put a second sound bite in there the same way that you can put sequences in here. If there was a way to add something up here to where you could cut in to an area, a layer, so to speak, so that you could put in ad-libs or whatever, that would make it easy for me to change that part. But I'm not going to be picky because the folks at X-Lights do phenomenal work. Look, I'm new to sequencing, and they have given me tools to make it intuitive, to make short order of putting out some what I would call an interesting light show, something I think we can all be proud of when you put it out and play it for your friends and family in your neighborhood. I think there's a lot of pride you should be taking when you spend time working on a show, and that would not be possible if we didn't have great developers and people that really know how to make our Christmases better. So to X-Lights, you guys rock. And with that, we'll play this last bit of the song, and I'm out of here.
You're on the naughty list again. Don't stop the Santa Man. He's coming through the city. Christmas, people